Hey guys, my name's Khanpeki and I've got another video about Ghost of Tsushima Legends. This wonderful multiplayer mode in an already wonderful game. And this one is about tips and tricks and strategies for the Ronin class. Because the Ronin is my favorite. Maybe we'll move on to the other classes in time. But first, our first tip for the Ronin. Stay alive. It's the most important for the Ronin to stay alive because, well, the Ronin can revive all of their teammates. So if anyone's going to die last, it should hopefully be the Ronin. A quick way for a game to end in survival is if the Ronin goes down first and then no one can revive them quickly enough. That is how you lose in survival. So, as a Ronin, it's your job to stay alive. You want to make use of healing items like the healing gourd or your class ability healing incense that can also heal your teammates. In survival, I like even using both to ensure you can almost always revive your team. It's possible you can go even farther by activating the last perk in the second row of techniques, which increases your healing and regen by 50%. But often you won't need all of these things put together, so you choose what works best for you. The next thing is, if you have good teammates, you should focus on the squishier enemies, especially in survival mode, as you can take them down while your teammates can assassinate, headshot, or even use their offensive ultimates to take down the bigger threats like the large Oni. This also helps to keep you alive, as the squishier enemies are likely to do less damage to you if you get hit as well. And since you're taking down enemies like archers, you're supporting your teammates who want to put all their focus on their bigger enemies, since those enemies are capable of dishing out so much more damage. If you end up using the spirit dog ability, try to keep a good eye on it. It's not worth taking any damage if you're focusing on your spirit dog too much, but it's good to focus on it a bit because it's able to distract and hold down enemies for a short amount of time. And while the dog itself doesn't do that much damage, if it can hold down an enemy while you swing your sword at it, you'll pretty much be able to take down any of the non-Oni enemies while the dog has it pinned down. So it's a free kill that only the Ronin can pull off, and it's quite nice, especially some of the midway kind of tough armored enemies that aren't Oni. There's one pitfall in the Ronin class, which is your weakening burst ability, or you might know it as the R1 and X ability that unlocks at rank 7. It's a very useful ability that weakens enemies so that they take more damage and will do less damage to you, but it also costs 1 resolve, so it can be risky to use if it will put you below 3 resolve and make you unable to revive your teammates with your ultimate. And as we know, reviving teammates with your ultimate is arguably the most important thing that a Ronin has to do. So for this reason, if you want to use Weakening Burst, I recommend that you also take this perk that increases your max resolve to lessen your risk, so that if you have 4 resolve and you use Weakening Burst, you'll still have enough resolve to revive teammates if they end up going down soon after you use Weakening Burst. Personally, I prefer to go with one of the other 2 perks in the first row, usually the enhanced ghost weapons, as adding some damage to the Ronin can help out a lot when you just need to take down some enemies quickly when your teammates aren't around. Smoke bombs can be very useful to allow you to escape an engagement and use your ultimate for free when you need to, but I don't usually find it to be very necessary. That said, some Oni will charge up an attack to hit you as soon as your ultimate is over, and you won't be able to stop it, except for with the smoke bomb. And it can be very useful there because it's so annoying when one of those Oni on harder difficulties charge up an attack and wipe out 2/3 of your health bar, potentially even one-shotting you on the nightmare difficulty. So in that situation, using the smoke bomb before you use your ultimate will keep you hidden for long enough that they won't be able to charge up an attack to hit you as soon as your ultimate's over. Alternatively, you could just run away before using your ultimate, but on the downside, that will put you outside of the defense areas in survival, which will hurt your team. So in story mode, it's not as necessary, but in survival, it could be useful. One really good legendary item for Ronin is Kenji's shared Brew, which is a healing gourd that also heals nearby teammates, combining some of the Ronin's best traits, their healing incense, as well as their healing gourd that they will usually be carrying because it is so useful to them. Thanks to Kenji's shared Brew, maybe you won't find it necessary to use the healing incense anymore, and you'll be able to use the spirit doggos because we all love spirit doggos, as well as doing a little bit more damage with our Ronin. Lots of legendary weapons are useful. Honestly, pretty much any of them could be used because they're all good, but Kenji's shared Brew is one that's very good. So if you enjoy using it, then use it. If you don't, find something else. And hey, maybe you're unlucky and you just never ever get Kenji shared brew, which is very possible. Don't worry about it. If you don't get it, it's totally fine. There are so many other good legendary items that you can use. But my number one tip is, if any of these tips don't sound fun to you, don't do them. Alright, if you want to spec out your Ronin to be full offense, that's fine. Okay? You can focus on story missions where that doesn't matter as much, or you can hope that you get a more supportive player in your survival. But like, the main thing is you're still a Ronin, you're still going to be helping out your team. Try to stay alive. But heck, if you want to run in, do some damage, do your best. Get good at the game so that you don't die, but keep playing that way. Do whatever's fun to you. In the end, it's a game. So play your best, have some fun, put whatever techniques on that you want. Just enjoy yourself. If my tips aren't fun, then ignore them. And if you want to do really well, take the tips, do really well, and if that's fun for you, then awesome. Have fun, guys. Enjoy being a badass Ronin, because in the end of the day, that's what this game's all about. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Khanpeki, and I hope you have a dandy day.